Welcome to the show, Brandon Hughes. I'm so happy to have you on.
Glad to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, it's nice to finally meet you. I love hate Instagram. Although I mostly kind of love it. I'll be honest. It's not. I think I ebb and flow with social media. It can get quite taxing with what we
Mhm.
sort of feel like we have to do. But the good side is I get to see people and notice people and kind of, find out what people are doing. And you're one of those people. So if it brings me to people like you, then I'm very happy. So it's nice to finally get you on.
Yes, absolutely. It's glad to be here. I think I kind of share your sentiment about just social media in general. It has a place, but it's not the place.
Yeah.
It's like it's there, but I'm always more for I'd love to meet somebody face to face or through virtually as we're doing right now, rather than
Sure.
just putting things out there to the ether as well.
Oh, yes, 100%. For me, I love it because it normally ends up in with some kind of authentic connection,
Oh
if
yeah.
I feel like that
Uh,
works. So yeah, so that's nice to be able to make that happen. So let's talk a little bit about, well, let's talk all about you. This is all for you. It's the Brandon show. Tell me a little bit about where you're from and how you started and kind of where you sort of find yourself on, I hate the word journey, but adventure.
I like Journey. I like Journey Adventure. I think they're both that's a good way to say it, honestly. I
Yeah,
think
so fill me in on just the high level stuff, and then we can get into the nitty gritty.
sure, I guess kind of a little Cliff Notes version. I am originally from North Carolina. I
Oh,
grew
cool.
up and lived there for most of my life. Until around college time, I decided I wanted to kind of maybe take a transition around, like, I should say probably around grad school time. I was like, you know what? I love being here, but I kind of need a change. So when I was through with college, I decided I was going to pick up and move down here to Austin, Texas. And strictly because I'd never been here, I had never visited the city. This was pretty much about 20, like late 2014, early 2015 kind of vibe.
Okay.
And for me, it was like, you know what? I'm going to give myself 6 months, like in a brand new city outside of my comfort zone and see if it feels good to me.
Yeah.
And I came down here and literally like the second day, I was like, this is home. This is my place.
What
Like,
happened? What happened within those 2 days that
uh,
made you feel that feeling? Because I want detail.
well, I had a couple things. Well, one, thankfully, when I first got here, I remember I had a gig somewhere, and I remember someone coming up after me and saying, like, "You really touched me in a way, and this felt so good." And then I had another person say that, and then another person say that, and I was like, "Well,
Wow.
that felt great. That was awesome." And
Yeah.
then literally the next day, or yeah, like the next day, I went to Whole Foods. The headquarters because I was a tourist at the time and I was like I gotta so everyone was saying like you gotta go check that out, so I went there and I just remember like looking around and like all of a sudden like this lady next to me just was looking at something as well, and she said like she's like, what are you looking for? And I'm just like, oh, I don't know, it's just maybe something to eat or something like that, and it ended up having like a conversation like for a good solid like for some like 10-15 minutes, and it impacted me in a way that's something I never really had like before, when that just the energy of the people were so open and welcoming to me.
Mhm.
It made me immediately feel like I was meant to be here, and this city speaks my language in its vibe, and so it was that easy, and so I've been here ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing what, and even for me in my own personal life, what a little bit of authentic connection can
Mm.
give to us.
Oh
Like
yeah.
just I that's just part of being a human being and
Mhm.
really needing that authentic communication and really
Mhm.
seeing each other and feeling seen and giving that to other people. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like, well, I know from my own life, I can start off kind of feeling a bit derailed and having a tough day or like everything's going wrong, just one of those shit days.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you bump into something and then that just like pisses you off even
Oh
more.
yeah. one thing onto the next thing
Oh
kind
my
of thing.
gosh. But then I'll have like, I'll see like the cutest old person and say hi, or they say hi. And then it's just like all of that angst, all of that stuff just goes away. It's
Yeah.
magical.
It is. I believe, like you said, you call life a journey, life an adventure. And I think we're all telling our own stories. It doesn't matter where we're coming from. And I think being authentic, being an authentic person in general is just a way for us to share a little bit of our story with someone else and not bullshit it. Like really
Yeah.
absolutely cut out all the middleman and be like, this is me and giving you a piece of myself at the moment.
And isn't that what you and everyone I talk to on this show, I mean, isn't that what being a musician is? I mean, there's so many layers to it and so many angles of entry into the conversation. But basically, this is why I respect you guys so much. I mean, I, I yeah, you're literally giving yourselves on a platter to us and letting us in lyrically to your innermost things that you
Yeah.
write in your
Putting
notebook, right?
putting our heart on a plate, and just be like, please
Yeah.
don't hurt me. this,
Yeah.
this is me.
Be
Uh,
nice. How
it's
does that feel? Is
yeah.
that natural for you? Is that a
Uh,
natural thing? Or are you terrified like I would be?
I think for me, it's gotten a lot easier
Yeah,
over time. I think that's just with anything. The more time you put into something, the easier it gets. However,
sure.
I always like to tell people that I am an introvert that acts like an extrovert.
Yeah.
I'm someone who very much. I love conversations. I love deep conversations. I love talking to people and meeting people. But at the same time, as soon as that time is done, I need my time in my space to completely like recharge the battery, whether it's playing music or
Yeah.
just being by myself. Like I think that is necessary for me. But it's gotten easier. It really has. Like, but every artist is different. I know some people like they've done it for 20 years and they still shake like a leaf, but it's something that they're like, I still love it. It's still great.
Mhm.
Everybody's different.
Yeah. Do you get nervous?
I mean, yeah, I do every now and then. Like, it depends on what it is. It depends on like the show and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, it's like I have gotten to the point where I have enough confidence in myself to be like, look, man, you got this. Do your thing. Get up there and show people who you are. Just lay it out there and do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else. You're just on this stage. Like everybody else is looking at you. Everybody else may be judging you. Everybody else may be taking in what you have to say. But at the end of the day, if you're not performing for yourself first and foremost from the heart, then I don't see any other way. That's just me. I don't see any other way to
Yeah.
perform.
Yeah. You should mentor people, you know? Well, because
Noted. Noted.
yeah.
Second career coming up.
Yeah. Are you a full-time musician? Have you found a way to do that?
I very fortunately, yes, I'm a full-time musician right now. I very thankful for the connections that I've made and also where I'm going in my career. So it feels good. It feels good and so places I really didn't expect myself to be in a place like, okay, I guess I'm going in this trajectory. We're gonna roll with it. We're just gonna roll with it. So
Yeah.
still rolling.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. It's a big step I've talked to so many people at this point and, some are in that, some are, still doing day jobs, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not.
I think I just heard a conversation. I love Rick Rubin, and he was talking to someone about that. Like, don't let struggle, it will eventually ruin the art, and it will,
Mhm.
so set yourself up so you can be comfortable. So I'm a big advocate of that as well, but very
Great.
cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's talk about this new EP that you have.
Yes.
It's a new baby that you're about to have. When does it come
Um,
out?
so for me, so the EP is going to be coming out digitally, and it's going to be digitally on May 31st on all platforms. But then it will be physically available in the first week of June. It's actually going to be at Waterloo Records. So as it's going to be really cool to, be part of that club. I've never had any recorded anything there. I'm a big fan. So I'm really looking forward to that. So this EP pretty much came about. So for me, if anyone really like follows me and anyone has really like seen a lot of Spotify and this, I don't have a lot of recorded material. And a couple of reasons behind that is because a lot of these songs of mine I hold very personally, but I'm okay to play them live. And so the other aspect of it is I've always wanted to try to wait and do this right, whether it be financially or with the right producer or with the right circumstance. So this EP happened to be kind of it happened kind of because of the city of Austin. I have to give it to Austin because the city of Austin pretty much I don't know if you're familiar with it, but they actually provided a live music fund grant last year to help venues and local musicians and local live performers, like with projects they may be working on or anything like that. And you could apply for funding for that. And for me, one of the biggest things about it is like, look, I never had enough funds to be like, I need to get this, or it needs to be right with these recordings.
Mhm.
So I pretty much was, you know what the heck? What? So I'm gonna write an email and just be like, this is me. This is what I'm thinking of doing. I always wanted to like. Most of these songs are brand new. A couple of them are a little older, but these are new songs that I'm like, I'm playing them out in the pop around here, and people really like them. And I'd love to get them down in great.
Mhm.
And I very very thankfully was granted the grant.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by that. I'm like, whoa. I was like, this is a shock to me, but it also really helped me to be like I think it's time for these songs that I've really held on to for a second to see the light day in the proper way that I've really wanted to envision them.
Yeah.
So we ended up setting up at the Bubble Studios. If
Mhm.
you're aware of them, here Chris, Frenchie
Mhm.
Smith, and Anar Peterson helped me produce it. Phenomenal human beings. If you had a chance to meet them, and they're just music.
They've both been on. Yeah, I love those
Oh yeah,
guys.
yeah, musically brilliant individuals and just good souls in general. I loved working with those guys, and we came in and we pretty much were able to put down everything we needed to in a way that we all left. We were like, these are some good songs,
Hmm.
like, and I hope we can actually get something from these songs because I sure feel something from these songs. So
Yeah.
that it's been a very exciting process to get to this point, and I think for me it's been a very opening process to finally kind of give a little bit of myself even more that I've been hiding. Like I'm a live performer, but at the same time, like this recording in this kind of capacity, it's still a little new. So
Hmm.
it's been that great evolving experience for me. I feel like I've leveled up because of this experience.
Yeah. Well, I got to have a little sneak listen, so haha to everybody.
I'm
Um,
glad.
and I love, love, love it. I was listening to some of the stuff that was on Spotify. You're right, there's not a ton on there, which is cool. It's more mysterious like that. I kind of like it.
Part of the stranger come in from the shadows.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I really, really liked it. So I'm excited. So May 31st, this guy comes out, right?
Yep, that's right. Yep, should be on all platforms at that point, digital anyway, and then physically later in first week.
Awesome. Awesome. When did you start playing music? When you were little?
Yeah. So going way back. I grew up when I was a little kid. My mom would always take me to church, and I actually got my like love for music from singing in church. And I'm like the 6, 7 year old kid, and my mom used to go and clean the church. I remember that too, and there was a piano there, and I just remember like no one in my family had any musical anything. I'm the first one in my family to really touch music. Like we all like to sing and such, but like in terms of playing an instrument, in terms of like singing and this, no one really did that.
Mhm.
So for me, I'm playing on the piano at 6, 7 years old. I like the sound of this. This is nice. And then come about 10 years old, like I'm leading song service, this, that, and the other. Like this 10-year-old kid, like leading music and this, that, and the other. And the more that I grew up, I actually stepped away from that passion and that love just to sing, to perform when I got into sports. I ended up playing football a lot. I was actually a bigger dude. I was a defensive lineman, and I remember like my whole schedule was around workouts, 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 eat food, workouts, workouts,
Yeah.
like just nonstop. So when I got to high school, I pretty much thought, football was going to be my thing. I thought I maybe had a shot playing college. I thought that this was that and the other. Well, I get injured in football, and that pretty much took away that side of my life. And I pretty much was left with like, I feel a little empty. But for some reason, I ended up making friends that played guitar, that were singer-songwriters. I have a good friend of mine. His name is Stephen Hall. His stage name is Bear Stevens, and he pretty much was the like singer-songwriter of our school. Like he
Mhm.
was the guys like, this dude is multi-talented. He can write songs, this and the other, and we were good friends. And for me, it was always so fascinating because I watched him play guitar and I would just like stare. I'd be like, this is like magic. It's like this is like a puzzle that is being made as I'm looking at it. This
Mhm.
is incredible. Not only did it sound phenomenal, but just the technique, and learning later that there's so many different varieties of styles, there's so many different sounds, there's so many different guitars with different unique abilities. It
Mhm.
got me wanting to play guitar. So once I get to college, I'm playing guitar like all the time. I bought a little used guitar, like $150 guitar, and I played the hell out of that thing. Like I cannot tell you, like I must have put in, like the 10,000 hours. Like I'm not
Mhm.
gonna say that I'm close, but I might be close. Like, cause my whole freshman year, I just remember my freshman year, it was like get up, practice guitar before you go to class, come back, practice guitar before that. Your roommates and everybody going to parties, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna play guitar for a little longer. And I must have at least put in 3 to 4 hours like a day, and that was just consistent because I was a very shy kid at the time, and I didn't really have much of a social life. So my way to communicate not only with like other people but to me was through music. And it
Mhm.
was funny because I got guitar and I actually started feeling pretty good about it. And so I'm playing, I got a couple gigs and playing some cover stuff and this, that, and the other. And there was a venue in my college town. I went to East Carolina University, and it's located in Greenville, North Carolina. There's a little venue there. It's not there anymore, unfortunately, but it was called the Tipsy Teapot. And it was this little bar, coffee shop thing, very hippie. I loved it. It was
Love
a
that.
beautiful, beautiful scene, beautiful souls were there. It was so great. But the owner would always push for like local students and to come play. So I got up the nerve finally. I was like, I'd like to go play. Singing's okay, but my guitar's okay. And she's like, "Well, do you have any songs?" And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, have you written any music? And I'm like, no, I haven't done that. And she's like, well, how about this? I'm going to give you homework. I'm going to tell you to go home, and for the next 3 weeks, if you come back with 3 songs, I will put you on a bill and you'll play. So that was like, okay, I am freaked out, but challenge accepted. So like literally that, so I just remember just writing and writing and writing and writing things and coming together with chords and just finding the most just good sounding thing that I could. And I came back with 3 songs, and I ended up playing the show, and it actually went really well. And for
Wow.
me, it was like, you know what? That didn't crash and burn like I thought it was going to. Um, this is great. So that gave me the confidence that I needed to continue. And
Mhm.
so not only did I start writing my own music, like I actually started taking more singing lessons. I was going on YouTube. I was like training the voice, training the guitar. And so literally my first half of my undergraduate was training and training hard, because for me to be that shy and to be that like not an open person at the time, that had to be my communication.
Yeah.
And it just felt so much easier to play what I was feeling and to sing what I wanted to say than to just speak to somebody at the time.
Yeah.
So I think that those factors really helped motivate me from there.
Wow. What a journey. And now, do you have, I know you're introverted, and I show that. I'm kind of introverted too, but I do a very extroverted thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
super
Absolutely.
common.
Yeah. Amazing
Um,
show, by the way. I've been a fan of yours for a while.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Would you still consider yourself a shy person? Because shyness, I don't know, is that the same as introvert?
Shyness, not as much. I do say, like in the past, I am someone who does suffer from a little bit of anxiety, and I've gone through waves of depression and really some hard, difficult places. And in fact, one of the songs on this EP is specifically about my own personal anxiety, and it's
Yeah.
literally the title track called "Just Breathe." Because the one thing that has always helped me is to get back to the breath, get back to breathing.
Mm,
I'm a big fan of working out. I'm a big fan of yoga and this and the other. And that process
mm,
through those really hard, dark times for me has really helped get me back to where I needed to be. So I needed to kind of write a song that said, look, I'm not shy anymore, but there are times when I may need to retreat. And it's like, this is what's going on internally. And I need
mm.
to get back to where I need to be so I can give you myself.
Yes, yes, yes. And the good news is that, like, I mean, I don't know how old you are. You look very young, but
Well, thank you.
but um it's just such it's so much more of an open conversation than it was when I was in my 20s or teens.
Mhm.
And so like I love that that just rolls off your tongue in a
Mhm.
conversation like this. Like that just wasn't always the case. And I think kids, like I have two teenagers, and I don't think that they just don't understand like well why wouldn't you talk about that, or what's the big deal if this person's gay, or what,
Right.
like their reality is like so different than, ours.
We've come.
I'm gonna say ours,
I,
like we're the same age.
oh yeah, no, you're right. I feel like we've come a long way in terms of specifically mental health.
Yes.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I think that mental health should be treated as the same as going to physical therapy or going to a normal doctor or a dentist. Like there is nothing wrong with that. Like to check in on your mentality and to check in on that side of yourself, that's human. Like we all struggle. Like it's how we handle that struggle is what's going to help us define. We're going to either rise or we're going to fall. And the thing is with the mental health community these days, it's wonderful that people can speak this openly about that. And it's wonderful that there are so many different avenues to get that kind of treatment and help these days.
Yeah.
For someone like me who has anxiety just every now and then, there's some are people who are on the brink. This is very important, I think, for our society. And it makes me happy that we can be this open about it and we
I
can.
know.
It's not a big deal. It really isn't. Do
It's
you see
not.
yesterday? Yeah, she's good. Yeah.
I know. And for the record, I just want to say too, because I don't know if I've ever said it out loud, like I get massive social anxiety when I go out, especially when I'm by myself. And I
Mhm.
love the idea of going out by myself and seeing like, someone play, and
Mhm.
but I get like so sweaty and I get so nervous. And then I feel like I don't belong there. And then I feel like, what am I going to do with my hands? And I get like these pangs of like, I shouldn't be here and blah, blah, blah. And I think that, like, so if anyone ever sees me out, just come and give me a hug. Because it's really all I
It's
really
all
need.
good. It's all good.
I know, like, I feel like I should just wear a shirt that says, like, please come give me a hug if you know me.
I think that's a bestseller right there.
Yeah.
That's good merchandise.
Yeah, because I get really shy. And then
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, well, I know this person, or maybe I interviewed them, but we don't really know each other. Like, I'm
Mhm.
terrified to go up and say hi.
No, I got you. And that's kind of like, I guess for me, kind of in the same scenario, like a crowded room can
Ugh.
it can exhaust me. Like I may not get as like sweaty, but to me, I lose energy so fast sometimes. And I love going to concerts. I love being around a lot of people. I love going to parties, and the more the merrier. But every now and then, depending on, you don't know what you've been through for that day. You don't know how you woke up that morning. Like certain things are going to hit people so differently. And I'm a testament. I'm just like, sometimes I'll be like, guys, I got to bounce. I'm a little tired right now. So I love you all and I'll see you soon. Like, and I think that that's so normal to me. It's
It
just,
is.
and to have also good friends and also people who understand me too. Be like, oh yeah, man, you're good. Do your thing. We'll see you next time. Like,
Yeah.
that feels good to me. And so I hope that that's something that a lot of people can experience as well in the normality.
Yeah, that makes me so happy that you have friends like that. And that too, that you have the self-awareness I think that's the other component to all of this mental health conversation, is that it really reinforces the self-awareness that's happening individually, more and more, to just like honor that, like, hey, to know how you're feeling, to be able to name it, even say it out loud to yourself, and go like, I'm going to make this a priority for myself today. Like, what? I wasn't
Yeah.
taught to do that. I was
Yeah.
literally told to my face as a little girl, in this house, we focus on facts, not feelings.
Mm, I
Right?
got
That is how I was raised. So I, being the contrarian that I am, I remember thinking as a little girl, when I have a family, we're going to play a game called facts versus feelings, and we're going to talk about it all. And that's what I was able to do, thankfully.
I think
But
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that, I love that self-awareness, and I love making it a priority. And
Yeah.
I'm getting better at that with my own self. So,
Yeah.
it's baby steps.
We're all human. That's the thing. At the end of the day, is we just come back down to the brass tacks. It's like we are human beings and we all feel. And that's the thing.
Yeah. I can't wait for people to hear this new EP. The title of the EP is Just Breathe. Is
Yep.
that
Just
correct?
breathe
Okay,
EP.
that's what I
Yep.
thought. I just
That's
wanted to
it.
make sure. I love that. Where this is going to come out in a couple weeks.
Hmm.
So I know you probably have gigs in between now and then, but what do you have just high level for the summer? We're coming in. It feels like the bowels of hell today.
Oh
It's
man.
like 90s,
You're not
70s.
kidding, man. I don't know what happened. I'm kind of looking forward to this. Like, look, I love the summertime. I love the summertime.
I
But
don't.
man, like, I couldn't breathe today. I'm like, what is happening? Like, dude,
I,
you gotta just take a bucket of water on me. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the summer, but maybe less heat. Maybe a little
yeah.
less heat.
What do you have going on music wise in the summer? Do you know yet? Is it a little too?
Music wise, I've just begun like booking up the summertime.
Yeah.
So like right now I'm doing a lot of private shows and this, that, and the other, but I'm also kind of ramping up the marketing for the EP. I'm kind of planning some things in the pipe for that. So
Okay,
if
good.
people follow me along on Instagram and things of that nature, you're going to be seeing some stuff kind of pop off like very, very, very soon of some
Yeah.
cool things.
Great. Well, you can follow him, like he said, at B Hughes Music on Instagram. Um, it's, do you know who Bruce Hughes is?
I do. Yeah, I
Okay,
don't
yeah.
believe we met in person, but yes, I do know of the artist Bruce Hughes. Yes.
Badass bass player from Poi Dog. I've had him on the
Yeah.
show. He's an absolute sweetheart. He plays with so many people. So whenever I see yours, I'm always
So fun fact about that, I think I played a show right after him or after his band at like the Saxon Pub one
oh,
time.
yeah, yeah.
And I remember there was a lot of confusion. Just like,
Okay,
what?
good. So I'm not
Is that a
alone.
typo? It's like, what? Is that your brother? Like, yeah, I that's yeah.
It's a cool guy to have as your, maybe, is it your brother? Like
What's
he's
up, bro? What's up? It
what's
just
up?
That would be cool. It'd be cool if we had like a secret act or a secret handshake or something like that, just to kind of mess with people. I
Yeah.
think that'd be pretty funny.
Well, I'll make it happen. I'll make it
Yeah.
happen. Brandon, thanks so much for stopping by. It's so nice to finally meet you. I can't wait to see you play live, and I'm sure maybe this summer, if it's an air conditioned gig, I will
All
get
right.
my booty out there.
No, for sure. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much for having me on this show. It is so
All right.
wonderful to meet you as well.
Oh, well, the pleasure is all mine. You can listen to Brandon's new EP called Just Breathe on May 31st, and then you can get your hands on a physical copy at Waterloo Records early June, and stay in touch with him at B Hughes Music on Instagram as he pushes out all the good marketing stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Brandon, for coming by. And that'll do it for this episode. We'll see you guys next week.